this is one of the number one interest that most folks have, certainly lots of women, and but by no means just women. And there are lots and lots and lots of wonderful love spells out there. I think that when you cast a spell, you need to reach into your own creativity. For me, Wicca is the jazz of religion. So you have to master your instrument. You need to be able to read music. You need to have practiced. That's the point of learning the vocabulary and mastering the practices. But ultimately, it comes down to your creativity. Once you've mastered the instrument and you understand what it's all about, then you get to make music. You get to make art, and that's creative. So yes, you can get books. I've got some great love spells at the end of the love spell. But it comes at the end of the love spell and after the lessons that need to be learned. And the first lesson, before you cast a love spell for anyone else to love you, cast a love spell to love yourself. Start with that. And that's no joke. You have to really love and appreciate yourself. If you want anybody else to love and appreciate you, that's where it starts. It doesn't start from needing someone to fill in the missing parts of yourself. So you want to embrace and love yourself. One of the best love spells, you get a photograph of yourself when you were a child and you put it on your altar, right smack in the center of the altar. And you sit in front of it and you remember who that kid was and the things that you really loved doing. And you open your heart and you give to that child all the things that the child needed and didn't get, whether it was affirmation or affection or expressions of love or opportunities to spend more time with your parents, whatever that was. You go back and you essentially relive those key moments, and you, now, as the grown-up you, takes the role of the adult, of the person who could provide those things. And you literally live through it. You can write it out. Put it in your magical journal. All spells are essentially kind of symbolic enactment of what you want to experience, of what you want to have manifest. So we use things because energy is sacred and everything that exists is energy. So what we're doing when we cast a spell and we make a potion or we make a talisman is essentially organizing sources of energy that are related to the purpose of the work. Healing herbs provide healing. And traditionally, there are herbs that are used for love. I was just informed by a very wise young man that in his tradition, a little cinnamon is put on the lips and the tongue so that when you speak sweetly. Cinnamon is also used in love spells. All of these things, you notice they're coming out of my red canvas bag. They came out of my kitchen cabinet. You don't need crazy stuff. What you're doing is a symbolic enactment. So, for example, one of the most delicious ways to do a love spell for yourself is a bath, because water is the element of love. So, you go to the kitchen cabinet and you pull out a number of ingredients. And you can put them in a white handkerchief or a red piece of cloth, red, symbol of love and passion, desire, which you need for yourself. And you shake a little cinnamon from the kitchen cabinet. What else have I got in here? Lavender, very relaxing, grown from the garden, also terrific. Mix a little lavender in with it. Rosemary, wonderful. What else do we have? Peppermint. Peppermint is fantastic. It's cleansing. You can also use it in a spell for purification and for cleansing, and it's wonderful for a love spell. It's fresh and clean and exhilarating. So you put that in. You can go to your tea cabinet and you pull out a tea bag and you open it up and you add it to the mixture of herbs. I also love to use a honey peach ginger tea, which I open up and I mix in. So you've got a little bit of cinnamon, you've got some rosemary, a little bit of lavender, some peppermint. If you have the ginger peach or the honey ginger, any mixture of those. A little green tea you could also use, which is very nice for the skin. And what you want to do is use your nose, because it's the artistry of spellcasting is very sensual. And you can see it's about beauty. So you want to please your nose. You smell, you can add a little more depending on what you get, and If you want to grind them together, you would grind it in a clockwise manner. You could use a mortar and pestle, but you can also use the end of a knife, the butt end of a knife. Grind them together, put them back in the cloth, tie it up with a little pink ribbon or a red ribbon, and you run a warm bath, not too hot, dump it in, and just soak. It's a wonderful, delicious experience. Light a candle, a red one or a pink one, because they're associated with love. And when you get out of the tub, look in the mirror and talk to that little boy or little girl and tell them how much you love them. That's the strongest love spell you can do, because that's the beginning of everything. Once you love yourself, you start radiating. And since your life is your magic, and you're the spell that the universe is casting, once you are vibrating and humming with that kind of energy of love, people can't help but respond.